Oh, I'm not even gonna see her.
Really?
No. Oh, you're in
Oh, yeah. No. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect time to make sure all cell phones are turned off. If you feel as if you're missing a memorial program or anything, it is not. What people have in their hands is just the ship information and directions to the cemetery. Those will be available on the tables on your way out, so you're not missing a memorial program.
Pretty hard to begin this. Everyone's wanting to be here in this way. No, I'm not solo promoter. I have the honor of officiating Jack's bar mitzvah. Last thing in my life was today, sharing this funeral. Let's open by reciting Psalm 121. It's like your sheets, I'm going to chant it. Do so, and we'll read it together in English. Esainai Hari Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz Alitein Lamot V'Aglecha Al Yenu Shomerecha Hinei Lo Yanu V'Lo Yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai Shomrecha Adonai Tzilcha Yad Yaminecha Yomam Hashemesh Lo Yakecha V'yarei Yad Balayla Adonai Yishmocha Mikol Ra Yishmor Et Nafshecha Adonai Yishmor Tzeitcha Goecha Me'ata Ve'ad Olam. This beautiful Colorado day where we get to look up at snow-capped mountains piercing the blue sky. We hope that those mountains can be a source of strength for us when we need a lot of strength. So if you'd like to, I invite you to join me in reading this English. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come? My help comes from the eternal, God will not let your foot give way, the guardian will not slumber. See the guardian of Israel, neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian, Adonai is your protection at the right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. The Eternal will guard you from all harm. God will guard your life. Adonai will guard your going and your coming. Now. Ezehu Ashir Hasameach B'Chelko. Who is rich, truly rich? Asks a rabbi called Ben Zomer in Pirkei Avot, an ancient collection of wisdom. Who is rich? The one who is content with their lot, somehow happy with what they have, their portion in life. Jack Elliott Paul was not wealthy. In fact, he was rather frugal in some ways, but that's not the reason why he's in a simple wooden basket. That's how tradition, he expressed his desire to have a traditional Jewish funeral. But he was somehow always happy. Jack was always happy and accepting, even in the face of the terrible terminal diagnosis that he was given. Jack was a happy kid who enjoyed life, especially his friends and his family and good food and fantasy and Legos and comic books and Formula One racing. Jack loved superheroes. And in his way, Jack was a superhero in his 5.5-year battle with leukemia. He never quit, doing all that he could, and sometimes more for his family than for himself. Amazingly, he never complained. He didn't show any bitterness for what he had been dealt, and he never asked, why me? Even though Jack questioned everything in life with his unique way of seeing the world, he somehow did not question his own brutal diagnosis. If someone asked how he was doing, he would say, I'm fine, how are you doing? Ten days ago, when the doctors said that there was nothing more that could be done, he accepted it. He was at peace, knowing that he had done all he could, including the bone marrow transplant last fall, his older brother Harry, his donor. Jack expressed, as I already said, in his last days, he wanted a traditional Jewish burial, and that's what we're giving him today. Of course, he didn't want to die, and he wasn't happy about it. He accepted his lot, grace, and with humor, sameach b'chelko, calmly embracing his fate. I've got wonderful memories of Jack when he was in our B'nai Mitzvah class at Bonei Shalom in Boulder. His smile, his laugh, his cheeky charm. He was a joker, he was a trickster, but not in a way that could ever hurt others, as he was so kind and thoughtful, and he made friends so easily wherever he was. He was often the center of attention, but not in a look at me kind of a way, but with that lovable charm and that dry sense of humor that made him so popular. All the girls in the class adored him. Well, actually, we all did. Even as a 7-year-old in California, Jack was the kid who had a calming influence on the troubled kid with his ability to make everyone feel included and special. He always rooted for the underdog, the outcast. He was just a good buddy to everyone. This morning I found the Devar Torah a speech that he gave in April 2015 when he had his bar mitzvah. And he opened that speech with a provocative question to us all. He said, in a very Jack way, "What's better, power or respect?" And later in the speech, Jack was talking about having the right kavanah, the right intentions. And as he wrote, and these are his words, "So this story relates to my life because I peer tutor at school with kavanah, with intention, to help special needs kids. But some kids only peer tutor to get an easy A, not to help the kids. That's the wrong kavanah, the wrong intention. I enjoy helping kids with special needs. I spent hours in and out of school participating with these friends. I played in a Special Olympics basketball tournament last month out of school. My team got 3rd place. There were only 3 teams. There were only 3 teams in our division, but it was still really fun. My intentions were to have fun and play with the kids, not to win every game. It was a blast, and that is how I choose to spend my free time." Those are Jack's words. Ben Zoma, the rabbi who, like Jack, liked to ask a lot of good questions, as well as asking who is wise and who is rich and who is powerful. He also asked, "Ezehu mechubad," who is honored? And he answers his own question, "Hamechubad, hamechabed et habriyot," the one who gives respect and honor to everybody else. So Jack answered his own question that he opened the speech with that day in 2015, knowing that respect was more important than power. And he was respected because he respected others, no matter who they were. Even Jack's nurses and doctors over these years stopped seeing him just as a patient. I think some of them are here today. They saw him as a powerful and respected human being. I know that the family is incredibly grateful for all the incredible care that Jack has received all these years. Jack had a mischievous side to him, and he could have been a real troublemaker, except he was too honest and kind, and he would apologize for what he'd done even before it had been discovered. It's totally devastating to lose this lovable young man in his prime of life when he had so much to live for, so much to give to the world. Jack had big unfulfilled ambitions to travel, to see the Northern Lights, to eat really good food in New Orleans, to go skydiving. He dreamed of many more adventures. It's so sad that he did not get to experience them. And we just hope in some way that his soul is beginning to have a whole new set of adventures in a different realm. Jack leaves us the legacy of his big heart, his smile and his laugh, his kindness, his amazing, inspiring superpower of accepting his fate. The best way for all of us to honor the memory and the legacy of Jack's way too short life is to emulate his kindness and his compassion and even his laughter when life feels so hard. That's how we make the memory of Jack Yitzchak Yankov into a blessing. Parents and grandparents are not meant to outlive their children and grandchildren, and we know how hard this is. I wish you all so much strength and comfort. To Jack's grandparents, Sherry and Alan Tenenbaum, and Donna Paul, Jack's wonderful parents, Daniel and Tricia, and his siblings, Harry and Gracie, along with many, many aunts and uncles and cousins and friends and community members. I wish everybody strength. reality of this awful loss. May Jack's memory always, always, always be Raha. Bless you. At this point, well, Count Goldstein. He has in Psalm 23.
Not many people are still here who were at my bar mitzvah, which was a while ago. But Donna was there. And when I came back to Denver in my 30s, I saw Donna again. And I went, wow. She made me feel young then. She makes me feel young today. There's too many young people here today. Most of the funerals I do, they're older people. It's hard for me, too. We sing the 23rd Psalm because it talks about lying down in green pastures, still waters. But if you know a little bit about when King David wrote this song, he was running for his life because everybody was trying to kill him. And somehow he found a way through it, through music and poetry. He wrote these incredible songs that we still use today, 3,000 years later. So I'm going to sing. This was my dad, who was also the cantor here many years ago. This is his music. Adonai Roi Lo Echsa Inodesh Yatse Almei Bilcho Yenale Nafshi Shover Yancheni V'Magletze Hayleman Gam Ki Heilech V'Getz Al Mavet Lo Ira Ki Ata Imadi Shivtecha Mishanetecha Heima Yenachamu Taruch Lefanai Shulchan Neketz Tishanta Bashemen Roshi Kosirevaya Achtava Chesed Yirdefuni Kol Yemei Chaya B'Sham Divet Adonai Leorech Yamim.
We feel moved to let's read together the English of that song. So, it's a very Goldstein. Top translation in the inside that part of the words. What is my shepherd? What makes me lie down in the pastures? leads me beside still waters and restores my soul. Lead me in right paths, safe with me. Even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil. You are with me. Your rod and your staff. So it's able before me in the presence of my enemies. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I shall dwell in the house of God. Some level that I don't understand. Jack, you, that's not. At this point, to hear from some family members that so overwhelming and moving. Opportunities to share with the family would be moved and comforted and strengthened if you to forward by a letter or personal memories from experiences of losses. Different versions of our they're seen throughout the places. Opportunity, I think, for some sharing. So we'll start with Jack's wonderful little sister, Gracie.
Today we are here to remember my big brother, Jack Paul. While we didn't have much in common, we shared a goal. Whether it was hearing the TV in his room or his footsteps walking to turn off the hallway lights I left on, I could feel his presence. This is just one thing among the many I will miss about Jack. Since the day he was diagnosed, he handled himself with humility and grace, and thank you to my supportive family, they never let me know how bad it was. He could just be my brother, sending me TikToks and testing every single word I said. Cancer isn't the unique in our family, as it's taken my grandpa and my aunt. While I wasn't able to meet them through stories I have been told, I feel like I knew them. This is something I will now do to keep Jack's memory alive for the rest of my life. While I never got to see Jack graduate college or get married, I got to see him change many lives. I followed his lead of volunteering, and he is the reason I have worked with the EXPAND program for the past 6 years, helping people of all ages with disabilities in our community. Once Jack was diagnosed, he wasn't able to volunteer, but his impact didn't end when he stopped working the programs. After I would spend hours trying to entertain participants, Jack would just pop his head in and the room would gravitate towards him. He was just fun and ease, and such a good friend to everyone. People wanted to be around Jack. And now, what I've learned in my life is superheroes don't always wear capes. They do build a lot of Legos. So Jack, we're proud of you, we love you, and we miss you.
The late Stuart Scott described his own battle with cancer by saying, "When you die, it does not mean you lose to cancer. You beat cancer every day by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live." My brother beat cancer every single day he fought it. He fought cancer with unmatched humor and grace, constantly keeping his doctors and nurses on their toes with questions such as, "How would you treat a werewolf?" Despite the physical toll cancer took on him, the smile never left his face, and that was emblematic of how Jack lived his life. In a world of hypotheticals, a world where anything was possible. As someone like myself who sees the world in black and white and right and wrong, my brother saw every color of the rainbow. His favorite questions always started with, "What if?" You could tell Jack that the sky was blue, and he would ask, "What if it wasn't?" His unbridled optimism made him so special. No situation or circumstance was too improbable to be out of the realm of possibilities in his mind. He carried that optimism with him until his final days. Despite all the challenges that cancer threw at him, he never strayed from who he was. A fun story I like to tell is when my brother and I drove out to school in Atlanta went together one year. The plan was for us to split the driving duties. As we rolled out of the driveway in Boulder, my brother reclined the passenger seat and took a nap for the entire 12-hour drive. Feeling bad about not driving the first day, Jack offered to drive day 2. Within an hour of that drive, it started to rain, and that was the end of his contribution to the drive. Jack always just lived in his own world. Jack being only a year and a half younger than me meant I had a built-in best friend. We fought like brothers do, but once Gracie was born, we united against a common enemy. From adversary to ally, my brother, my friend. I love you, Jack. It has been a pleasure to be your brother. May your memory be a blessing. I'd bring my rock with me because I'm not going to make it through. So thank you all for coming. It means the world to us. Harry and Gracie, you have been remarkable these last 5 years. And lastly, you have shown such maturity. It is beyond measure. I love you both very much. As I look around the room, it's a testament to Jack and who he was to see so many different people from so many different walks of life. Jack truly did touch many, many different people in just 21 years of his life. And while it's easy to focus on the last 5 years of the battle that Jack went through, there was so much more to Jack than just fighting cancer. Jack always wore his heart on his sleeve. One day, his preschool teacher told us that something happened in class. He bolted out of the classroom and she caught up to him. He said, "My heart is too big for my body." This little 3-year-old, 4-year-old kid. And it was. Jack found the good in everyone, and he never excluded it. Now, fast forward that to one day when he was in the hospital and he was having some sort of cardiac test. A technician asked him about his heart, and he responded, "Yeah, I have a big heart." And the technician stopped what she was doing, and she said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, no, not in the medical sense. It's just what my mom tells me." Jack had a very keen sense of humor, and you got to know it. One day, the same preschool teacher told us that Jack came back on a Monday and said to her, "Hey, is that a dreidel in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" We laughed. But we realized that Jack had just spent the weekend with Uncle David. So, fast forward to Jack's treatments. David was his pal, his companion. Jack and David were quite the duo during this illness, and we're forever grateful for the comfort, compassion, and support that David gave to Jack. Now, when Jack was 15, I was looking for something for him to do for the summer, so I signed him up for a 2-week program with the Boulder Police Department. He agreed to grow begrudgingly because I wouldn't let him just stay home and play video games. The second day of the program, he said, "That's it, I want to be a cop." He signed up to be a cadet with the Boulder Police, and it led him going to school to get a degree in criminal justice. And that was everything that he wanted to do. And along the way, he gained a phenomenal mentor, Beth McNally, and she had a major impact on his life, answering every question, doing everything with Jack as he led down his path to learn everything about criminal justice. So our hats off to Beth for what she did. Now, as Gracie talked about him working with the Expand program, one day the Expand program went on an overnight to the zoo. And Jack loved going on those overnights, but on this one, there was a camper who was very upset. He was inconsolable. He had forgotten his pajamas. He couldn't change. So Jack walked over to the kid and said, "Guess what? I forgot my pajamas too." And so that night, both kids slept in their own clothes. And the little camper told everyone so excitedly, Jack forgot his pajamas too. And that was how Jack went through life. When on Saturday night, last Saturday, when the doctor sat down and informed him, the doctor left.
was Trisha, myself, and Jack. And Jack looked at us like he would. He said, I'm at peace. I've done what I could. And I know that I'm okay. And his body just didn't want to cooperate. But then Jack started to lecture us. He immediately started to worry about us. And he implored us to live our lives for Gracie and Harry. He said, you are still a family. Be a family. Always be a family. But then he went on. He was adamant, almost screaming, that Trish and I not get divorced. It was not something we talked about. But Jack was very, very serious about it and wanted to make sure that we would always be there for Gracie and Harry, but more importantly, that we'd always be there for each other. We fought this battle with him together and it meant the world to us. And so to poor Trisha, she's stuck with me forever because I use Jack's memory. A couple of years ago, as Jack was going through treatment, whenever he would leave a restaurant or get ready to leave, he didn't like to sit around. He would look at us and say, it has been a pleasure. And we knew that that meant get the bill and get the hell out of it. He did not wait around. The worst torture for him was somebody ordering coffee. His catchphrase is going to live with us forever. I don't think we'll get up from a mill without saying, it's been a pleasure. So, you know, I can go on forever, but the greatest honor I'll give to Jack is it's been a pleasure. We love you. We'll never be forgotten. And God bless you, Jack.
Transition to another right of lead, counter hostings for the Sharon. Just invite everybody who the privilege of knowing Jack, just to bring a sense of church into your own life. Traditional memorial prayer, really remembering the fullness. Imagine like almost everybody in this room had a relationship with Jack. Has hundreds of different relationships, hundreds of different memories. Or on a whole picture, who Jack has been in this world is way too short. As you are able to invite into devices, that's the chance for us. This prayer you hear Jack's keeping me. Beautiful. I love the music. Malirachami Shocheh Amironi Hametzer Chanechona Confer Shechina B'mahalo Gdoshi Udiori Kezor Mazehiri Et Nishma Yitzchak Yaakov Ben Moshe Lev Zav Shalach Le'olamo
Gan Eden, oy began Eden, Tehei menuchato, Ana, Baal harachamim, Hastirei, Beseiter knafech, Leolamim, Utzeror mitzror achayim, Ishmael Adonai hu nachalato v'yanuach b'shalom al nishkavo v'noma Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the soul of Yitzhak Yaakov, the Moshe Leib, the Zahava Jack, Elliot Paul, who's gone to his eternal home. Merciful one, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace, and his soul be bound up in bond of life. May he rest in peace. Say, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our service here at the BMH. We'll have BMHBJ, excuse me. We will have interment at Mount Eagle Memorial Park. We do have an escorted procession today, so if you'd like to join us at the interment and participate in the procession, we'll ask you to return to your cars and have your hazards on. That will help identify you as being a participant in our escorted procession. If you're not going to the cemetery, we could ask you actually to hightail it out of here and get out of the parking lot for those who do need to start lining up for the procession. We'll be using this west exit. If you're parked on the east side, please, if we could ask you to go one block or just on that south side of Center Avenue and make your way to Monaco. There'll be an escort right on the corner of Center Avenue and Monaco. You'll wait there and you'll be able to get into the procession. The most important request is to ask you to please refrain from coming forward and trying to speak with the family at this time. It will delay their processing getting to the cemetery. So if you have any important things in the foyer or the restroom, please allow them the opportunity to conclude what they need to so they can get back to their cars. We'll ask you to remain in your places, and if I can invite all the pallbearers forward at this time.
Jack has 10 cousins who he adores. Who will be a very special part of Jack's life. We wanted to invite this incredible incident to Jack to his final resting place.
Mike. So this is. This is Brian. So she's one who also was his triplets. Oh. So we know them from APAC. So the States. And they know it's nice meeting you. He's good friends with Chris's brother, oldest brother. So, all right, I'll see you there.